Okay.
Buddy, I think we might have dodged a bullet.
Are we? Nope, we did not dodge a bullet. What is that?
What is what?
What is that from?
Lord, that's a big chunk.
Well, boys, we found out we hurt the Rousey pretty bad in today's video. But before we get into that, I want to let you guys know that today's video is once again brought to you guys by Keeps. If you don't already know, 2 out of 3 men will experience some form of male pattern baldness before they are 35, and the best time to do something about your hair loss is while you still have some hair left. Keeps is revolutionizing the way men are being treated for hair loss. With Keeps, you can meet with a licensed doctor online. They'll review your information, figure out what hair loss plan works best for you, and then the treatment will be shipped directly to your door. If you have any questions or concerns, you can message your Keeps doctor directly 24/7 and keep track of your progress with the Keeps progress tracking tool. It's also a more affordable option since Keeps offers a generic version of the FDA-approved medications used for hair loss. Remember that prevention is key. It may take anywhere from 4 to 6 months to start seeing some results. So you gotta act fast. The sooner you get on Keeps, the more hair you're gonna save. If you're ready to take action and do something about your hair loss, go to keeps.com/boostedboys to save 50% on your first order. That is keeps.com/boostedboys to save 50%. Once again, thank you to Keeps for sponsoring today's video. Let's get to the carnage on the Rousey. What's up, guys? We are back in Florida. We actually got in yesterday, took the jet skis out, but today we are doing some maintenance. We had to cut the grass because it was like 2 feet tall, so we busted out the John Deere. Why got the yard mowed. Right now he's doing some final weed whacking here,
Cleaned up.
because this place has been sitting for the last few weeks.
We
And
overextended our stay in Colorado and whatnot, and it needed mowed before we left, so it just got way out of hand.
yeah,
pretty
dude, stuff grows very fast out here. This was a jungle. We should have shown it before we cut it. It is really nice to be back though. We got the NSX and the Rousey unloaded as well. Got those in here. Got the MR2. Been missing this thing. We don't have the lights on in the shop right now because we actually don't have any power in the shop, and we also don't have any of the well water working to our hoses because it turns out this is on a separate meter and we haven't paid our electric bill for a whole year since we've been here. And I don't know how it's been going this long without them shutting it off, but we came back, everything was turned off, the house and everything is fine. But since this is on its own meter and we weren't paying for it, we had to call, and we had a bill that has added up over the last year that we got paid. And now they should be turning our power and stuff back on here soon, hopefully by the end of today is what they said, but it might not come on until tomorrow. So we don't have any power to the shop right now, which is a little unfortunate, but we should be good in the next couple days. Let's go ahead and see if this MR2 wants to start up. Give her a quick cold start here. See if she still has some power. What's that?
I said best starting car in the fleet right here.
Best starting one. All right, we got voltage. Oh, we're a little low, 11.9. That should be enough. Our days of bad batteries with this car should hopefully be over. Are we ready? Oh, baby. Like nothing. Nice. Man, we needed them to all start up that good.
Yeah.
She fired right up.
They're gonna get there, don't you worry.
Dude, that mechanical pump, we were worried that if it sat for, over a week or something, that all the fuel would drain back. That had full pressure, ready to go. Fired right up in like less than a second. That's awesome. Today, I think we're gonna tear into the minivan, even though it's dark over here and we don't have access to our lift right now because the power is off. Hopefully it comes back on, like I said. But the plan is to tear into the van today. Sorry, it's all dark. We got to figure out what happened to the transmission in this thing at Ice Cream Cruise during the roll races because she's a little hurt. Also got to give you guys an update on the tow rig here. The old Cummins made it back from our trip. No issues at all. She is now at 253,565 miles. So we put, what, nearly 4,000 miles on this thing on this trip alone, but she is still going strong. We need some new front tires though. These things are wearing so unevenly. They look brand new from the sides right here, but as you can tell from the inside, we are down to the cords. So good thing we did not have a blowout. I mean, those probably would have made it a few more miles, but not good. We have a new set of wheels and tires to throw on this thing, which you guys will see here in a minute. But dude, the Cummins has been solid. I can't be mad at it at this point. like you seen in the beginning, this thing broke transmission, several flex plates. Since about 180,000 miles, maybe 190,000 miles, it's been solid. The last 60,000 miles have been zero issues at all. We've been keeping up on our oil changes and fluid changes, just little maintenance here and there. But she has been trooping ever since all of that. So it's been good to see it. I'm glad that this investment has paid off. I was really worried that, you know, we were gonna have to get rid of this thing a lot sooner because I had so many issues with the truck. But she's turned into Old Faithful here. Can't complain for sure, especially carrying all that weight with the 2-car trailer. All right, boys, we got the power back on. We are good to go. Got the minivan up on the lift here, and we're gonna go ahead and start tearing into this thing. We're gonna drop the engine, transmission, all the way out of it, kind of do what we did to the MR2 and go over the whole van here, rewire some things, clean it up, except all the fabrication on the van is done, so at least we don't have to, you know, refab all this stuff. Once we're done cleaning up the wiring and doing some things to the chassis, we can stick all this stuff back in and it will go right into place. But there's a lot of stuff in here that just needs to be cleaned up. We want to clean up all this wiring down here by the battery, you know, make our mount a little nicer. We have ABS on the van still, so there's this whole module that's not being used, so we need to redo all of that. We'll get rid of that whole module, clean up all these lines and just everything laying around.
Mount all this stuff a little better.
It's a little loose, but it works. And then there's a whole bunch of wiring. Let me show you guys under here. This is embarrassing, but the wiring under the dash is very, very bad. So if you look under here, it is dark, but we have so much crap under here that we do not need. The wiring is just all over the floor. This is the factory fuse box that we just shoved into the passenger footwell here. But yeah, we're gonna be getting rid of all this junk, and same goes for the driver's side. We're talking about doing a steering column in here as well, get a quick release steering wheel, get rid of the stock minivan steering wheel, even though it's kind of funny that it has the steering wheel on there with the shifter and stuff. I did used to use the cruise control buttons when we had the cutout off of the steering wheel when it was super sleeper, but we don't have any of that stuff anymore, so we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of all of it. We don't need it, so we're deleting it.
Don't need it, delete it, baby.
Yep, don't need it, delete it. So the van has gone pretty much full race van at this point. My idea when I first built the Odyssey was to have a sleeper with all of the, you know, features of a minivan, you know, still have the radio, still drove nice and everything. But
it did for a while.
It did its job, and I made it how I wanted, but now it's becoming another monster. And the only way to really see a minivan compete with a legit car at these higher levels of horsepower is to gut this one down and just make it functional for what it needs to do. And that's go fast. So gonna cut a whole bunch of weight out of it. It's gonna help the drivetrain, so many things. So yeah, we're just gonna go through her and get her combed out here.
Give her the whole treatment.
But first of all, we gotta see what happened to the trans as well.
Yeah,
that's the main reason we're pulling it apart.
Yeah,
but
kind of started us on this venture a little sooner than we had planned.
Yeah, we're like, well, we're pulling it apart to do the trans anyway. While it's apart, let's just redo everything that needs to be fixed.
Yes.
So Odyssey, this will be like Odyssey version 3
right
coming up, because it first had the H series in it when it was front wheel drive. That was awesome. Then we did the K all-wheel drive swap, and it's been exactly how it is for a minute. Did race week, everything like this, but now it's time to come apart again and really make it functional
and clean.
Yep. So let's get to it. Rip this thing out of there. All right, the engine is out of the Rousey here. I'm gonna go ahead and drain the transmission fluid because that is what we are gonna be looking at today. See how bad the damage is in here. And I'm guessing we're gonna see some flakage in the tranny fluid here. So
I'll be auctioning off signed
those
carnage pieces on the eBays. So
some pieces of gear.
Boy Wit, here's how you do it at Kyle's expense. Yeah, this thing definitely needs to be done up like the MR2. That thing doesn't drop a single drop of oil.
Doesn't drop a single drop.
Doesn't drip a drop of oil.
Doesn't drip a drop.
Doesn't dip a drop.
Here we go. Oh,
sheesh.
Ooh, saved her.
Looks minty.
Yeah, just you wait.
Waiting for the particles to come out.
The very end there.
I don't know, really, it doesn't look
Actually,
that bad.
doesn't. It's pretty dark though.
It is dark,
That
but it's
probably
not.
should have been changed sooner, considering
That's
I think
blue.
that's the race week fluid still.
I was gonna say it's usually blue, so
Okay, to be honest, it doesn't. There's not much
yeah, it
metal in
looks
it.
honestly really good.
What if we pull it apart and there's nothing wrong? Uh-oh, there it is. The truth is underneath the fluid. There's a little chunk of something. Look, see all the little bits.
Yeah.
Oh well, we will see the damage once we get her apart here. So I'll go ahead and pull it off the motor and tear into it.
See what she does.
About to get hands deep, elbow deep in a tranny. Also want to see if anything's up with the clutch because it felt kind of weird driving it onto the trailer.
I did see a couple drips of oil out of the bell housing, so
Yeah, there might be
I think you need to come over on this side. It's pretty tight
some
still.
exterior damage as well. Well, it doesn't look
So far, so good.
terrible. Yeah, it looks normal to the naked eye. Looks okay. We'll still probably want to pull the clutch off and just make sure it's in good condition. Maybe, you know, update it if the discs are kind of worn. Just take a look at that later.
Yep.
But yeah, go ahead and put this on the table and rip her apart. See how bad the damage is here.
So I kept Kyle away.
Yeah, he didn't sound too enthusiastic
Remember how
over there.
I said, I was dripping a little bit out of the bell housing? Well, I found our issue.
Oh no.
Buddy.
Jesus, dude.
That thing broke clean off.
The whole snout came out, and it's probably because of whatever happened in there. It probably bound up and pushed
Probably, pushed
on the
it.
shaft.
And that doesn't sound very good. And it's got like a nice click in there.
Oh, boys, this is not going to be a cheap one. Freaking transmissions, bro.
Hey, buddy, if you're gonna send it, full send it, all right?
I guess.
Lord.
Damn,
that's crazy how that
yeah,
happened.
that's rough.
You can definitely see the bearings proud of the housing, so it definitely pushed it.
Yep. Big oof. Well, keep on going, see how bad the damage is. We got to zip off this transfer case and pull her on apart.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
All right, transmission is ready to come apart and see how bad the damage is. Just got all this top stuff taken apart. Looks like the fifth gear is pretty toasty. We haven't taken a look at this thing since we went on race week, and we had a lot of miles on that fifth gear in the Rousey, and there's definitely signs of it getting pretty hot. But we'll talk about that later. Let's go ahead and see how we are looking. Okay.
Buddy, I think we might have dodged a bullet.
Oh, nope, we did not dodge a bullet. What is that?
What is what?
What is that from?
Lord, that's a big chunk.
It's
Definitely a
hollow, so that's from the shaft.
of some
I think it has to be. I think it's from the shaft because it's hollow and the oil runs through it. Like maybe there's a counter shaft.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh, we broke the counter shaft.
Oh my gosh.
Dude. It broke the counter shaft straight in half.
Dude. I was not expecting that.
Dude, what's so weird is it's
Dude,
not
how did it drive back like that?
I don't know. I drove it all the way back around the track.
Oh my gosh. Bro, when your shaft is busted off in a tranny, it is not good. Dude.
Demonetized.
Bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, that is rough, but all the other gears look fine.
I guess it's
like
pretty bad, but it's not.
All things considered,
I thought it could have been way worse.
It's
still not great. Don't get me wrong, but I was honestly expecting a lot of the gears to be completely toasted.
Same.
It doesn't look like a single gear got hurt.
No, I don't think
because
so.
That
these
piece,
all look good too.
This chunk is from the counter shaft, so I mean, obviously that gear's toast. But I think it's just the counter shaft itself.
Yeah, because all these gears still look good, like all these removable gears off the counter shaft. But look at, dude, that's a thick piece of metal.
Thick boy.
Like goodness. But
jeez.
All things considered, we got lucky because all these gears look fine.
It's definitely a worse break than the MR2s.
Yeah.
Because the MR2 was just fourth gear and we were good. And a couple bearings. This is... I'm sure that shaft ain't a cheap piece, but we will find out.
I'm pretty sure to get this thing back up and running, it's a counter shaft and a fifth gear away. Because the fifth gear was hot, and it probably won't pick it up on video, but there's a lot of wear back into the heel where the counter gear rides on it.
Yeah. It's not like terrible. Like, okay, you could drive the car like this, and it's not detrimental, but while it's apart, we're gonna replace that.
And it's obviously been hot, so we replace it. But all these other gears, they look fine. Like it doesn't look like they have any weird meshing deal going on.
You send a video to Matt. He'll be like,
what did you do, Mike?
What the heck, Mike? Why are you messing up all that stuff over there?
No, otherwise, man, I think we got out pretty lucky.
Yeah, so counter shaft.
I mean, considering when we looked at the housing, we instantly thought, oh, total loss.
Oh, dude, I thought it was way worse.
That bell housing.
Yeah, our diff is in good shape. Everything else, the transfer case is fine. You know, not the best day, not the worst day.
Right. And what's to say what broke, you know? Because we did find a loose nut on the input shaft.
Yeah, and it's weird because
the counter shaft that broke. So
yeah, and we went back. If you guys remember, I pulled this transmission back out of the van after we broke the MR2's tranny, and I double checked that all the nuts were staked and Loctited to make sure they were good. It looks like one still somehow came loose, but who's to say that didn't come loose after the breakage?
Right. Or
didn't cause it,
and it just didn't have any issues. It's hard to say.
Either way,
both parts.
She needs a shaft, boys. It's never a good day when you snap your shaft. I will tell you that.
No, not a good time.
But figured it out, so we'll look that up.
It's probably best case.
Get one on the way.
To be honest. Well, it's up there though. I don't know how much that shaft.
I don't know what scenarios you're putting us through here, but best case scenarios.
Not breaking at all.
We gapped the Lambo as well in the van.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But yeah, no, it's not terrible.
No.
Tilt it up some. It should just slide out. I think. I can get my hand under there and push on it.
Might need a little tappy tap.
Oh, it's wet under there. Yeah, it's in there pretty stout.
Moist trannies. What a disgrace.
Ooh, there it is. Ooh, okay, so that's actually the input shaft, not the counter shaft. We were saying counter shaft the whole time. That's the counter shaft.
Wasn't thinking that one through.
Yeah, well, normally I just saw this and I thought the counter shaft was kind of the beefier one. But no, that was the input shaft that snapped, actually.
Well, that would make more sense now.
We were inputting too much power.
I mean...
No, probably not. Something came loose in there.
Something was loose.
And hey, look, it's like a puzzle.
It was probably fractured and then just like on a hard 2-3 and it just...
Yeah, it might have already been letting go and then she just sent.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
like this has been on a lot of mileage.
Chunk right here. Look at that.
Yeah.
Little JB weld. And we're set to go again. Look at that. We have all the pieces.
I was say, do we just V-groove that out with a die grinder?
Bust out the TIG.
Fat TIGs in there. We'll be up and rolling.
Dude, I
got the lathe in there. We'll turn her down, make her true.
Dude, I bet we could
put her back together.
Dude, we could at least put it on eBay.
Honestly.
And just hopefully someone who doesn't watch our videos is
Right.
like, oh, I need a quaif. I need a
sequential quaif transmission.
And there's one ready to go. We'll just say slightly used.
Slightly used.
Like new condition.
Yeah.
$2,000. I know what I have. OBO.
Low mileage.
I know what I have, bro.
You like everybody ever for sale ad.
And then they'll put it in their car, and then they'll go break records.
Yep. Or break it. You know, either or. You're breaking things.
Well, yep. And there she is in all her glory. That is the breakage of the tranny, which is actually pretty gnarly.
Yeah. Pretty impressive.
That is a good one. Look at that. Well, that does explain why it only had first gear, because that is the gear for first gear on the shaft. Every other gear does not exist as far as the tranny is concerned. Yeah. So you could still click it into first and it would still engage. So he was able to drive it back, and none of the other gears worked. And he said reverse worked, and it was very choppy.
Very intermittent, because that's reverse and there.
Reverse barely worked because we're missing like almost half of it, but it was still enough to
if you got the car just rolling, it would kind of like just barely push past it and then click back onto the other side of the gear. And then it also explains why it pushed the front, like that the bearing support and everything out of the front of the case. So that thing acted like a cam lobe.
Yeah, that's why it pushed out on the
and when that spun across it, it just it just ramped over it, and something had to give when it came apart. And
so
turns out it was the front bearing support.
Split the front of it there.
Yep.
And by the way, we're splicing this in. We already wrapped up the video. That's why the NSX popped in the garage.
Yeah.
And the next clip's gonna go back out.
Pretty gnarly though to watch or see how that just straight broke off there, just clean.
Yep.
Just pushed her right out.
So yeah, not only just an input shaft we need, but also a bell housing.
Yep.
So if you guys have an all-wheel drive bell housing, hit me up.
All-wheel drive K.
Yeah, K series all-wheel drive. Just need the bell housing, or we just put a billet one in there. But
yeah,
that shit's moolah. Well, guys, that is gonna wrap up this video. Definitely the worst we have broken one of these sequentials yet, but it's gonna happen sometimes. Yeah, you're gonna have that.
You're gonna have that on them minivan jobs.
But yeah, we'll get that ordered, get a new input shaft on the way, refresh a couple things on this, and get it put back together. And at least it wasn't, catastrophic. So we'll get her fixed up, get the transmission good to go, and we have a lot of updates to come on the van as we go. And yeah, it's been a while since this thing's been torn apart this far. So like I said, we're gonna go through this thing, get her all cleaned up, new engine management on the way.
Dude, I'm excited to see this thing all cleaned up and buttoned up. I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be sweet.
Plan is to get the minivan dialed as well, so we can take it out and do, challenges with other YouTubers, whatever it may be, and just get her sorted and hopefully take some names. Put in some work and be a little more reliable, get some weight out of it, so we don't do that again.
Yep. Just have it so it runs at its like potential all the time.
Yeah, I think this thing is honestly a solid high 8-second minivan with a good launch and everything set right, which that'd be fun and very competitive against whoever we want to put it up against, and maybe run some Mustangs on the street. Who knows what's going to happen? But
no, we don't street race on a private track.
Oh yeah, out in Mexico.
Private street in Mexico we race.
But yep, big updates to come, and hopefully we get her up and dialed soon.
Yes, sir.
So
it'll be sick.
That's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one.